They don't teach about what happens after you're dead. They only teach how to stop a patient from dying. That's called med school. How do you stop a patient? How do you stop someone from dying? But after they're dead, what happens to them? Medicine doesn't cover that. But they don't teach that. So if you don't teach that, how are they going to know? And today's young children don't have the time to associate with anyone in a robe, be that the father in a church or a priest in the at the temple. They don't have the time for any of that. I suspect that although you are here, your children are too busy to be here. Forgive me. I know it's a bold assumption, but unfortunately that is the truth. You're here, but your children are too busy to be here. They're too preoccupied with things. So they don't learn any of this stuff. But you teach them, you educate them. You give them the world's best education. If not here, then send them somewhere else and then they'll learn there. But once they're there, who's going to teach them about you? And what sacrifice their parents made on their behalf? Who's going to teach them about this? Who's going to talk to them about what happens to them when they die? And how it is only their karma that's going to be their vipaka? Who's going to talk to them about that? Seems like with our past, we've also lost our future. Both at the same time. Then we're just like a bunch of zombies. Don't know where we came from, don't know where we're heading. Just live for the day. Because that's what the world says we have to do. People say we have to do this, so we do this. But I remember when I was at school, our teachers used to come. My science teacher used to teach me a bit of science, and she also taught me how to be a good human being. My maths teacher didn't just teach me math, but she reminded me, if you do these things and you die one day, you're going to have to suffer. So it made me question, what do you mean, die, suffer? What's all that about? So I started asking questions because they made me curious about what was going to happen to me. Because their teachers had taught the same for them. But today, like I say, all these education systems from around the world, they have come in. That's not what's read. They have come in raw. They have come in without the essence of what it means to be us. So if we don't inject that into our education, then all we'll get are educated people. They'll have a good head, but they'll have no heart. People like Frankensteins. That's what you'll end up with. So, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do this to your children. Don't do this to yourself. Your children are entitled to your love. Do I have to remind you of that? Your children are entitled to your love. Your love is not just the money that you put into their bank accounts. Your love is not just the school that you send them to. It's not just giving them a comfortable school van in which they can go to school and back every day. It's not just packing a lunch for them. That's not the love that they need. The love they need is to remind them that true happiness is up here. Otherwise, they'll be sorry that they were born children to you. We must not let that happen. It's time that we became responsible as adults, as parents. Creating a child is a simple thing to do. Even animals can do that. But creating a good human being, that requires a sensible parenting. Sensible knowing that that human being, my little son, my little daughter, was born to achieve mental happiness. And then some of this has to happen because they have to learn to survive. But it should simply be for survival. Surviving their bodies. But pleasing the bodies was not what the mind was born for. This is just baggage that the mind has had to carry. It's not what the mind wanted. The mind just wanted happiness. Like I said, the mind doesn't need sights or sounds or smells or taste or touch. It doesn't need any of those things. Does this make sense to you? I'm just blabbering on. Is it making sense? You must do something for yourselves, folks. I can cook for you, I can serve, I can mix it all, I can even feed you, but I can't swallow on your behalf. If you spit it out, you will always remain hungry. The best I can do is feed you. So at the monastery we cook. Throughout the week we are cooking up Dhamma, so that we can come and serve you. And then we come here and we serve it. And then I mix it and I feed it to you. But you have to chew it and you have to swallow it and you have to ingest it. Please open your eyes and look at what's happening to you. Are you really proud about how you spent the last 50 years of your life? Or the last 40 years, the last 30 years of your life? If you are, great. Carry on. If you're not, then don't let your children walk down the same path. Because they depend on your guidance. Until they reach a certain age in life, they'll be receptive to what you teach them, what you tell them. But after that point, it'll be very difficult to mend them. You know that is true. After a while, the children begin to think that they know better than you. Yeah? Because you were children as well. You know the drill. At some point, you thought you knew better than your parents. Right? Your children are just the same. They'll also think that they know better than you. Before that happens, if possible, remind them that this is what they were born for. Because the world will keep on telling them that this is what they were born for. Because the world just wants to get the most out of them. The world just wants to make them tissue papers as well. So you, the tissue paper, don't become that. There's plenty in the box. You are just one. They'll just snort you and then throw you in the trash. The trash can is full of people like you. I don't mean to hurt or offend, but it must hurt for you to make a change in the way you think. Have a look at the trash can. It's full of people like you. Each one used to wipe dirty, you fill in the blanks. I can go one better than tissue paper if you want. It also starts with a T. You know what I mean? If they put tissue paper in the trash can, you think about what they put in the toilet and flush down. And what they wipe with that. That's what people use you for. To wipe their dirty, that. Put it on the common and flush. No one cares about that after that. It's what happened to your grandfather. It's what happened to your grandmother. It's what happened to your mother and your father. Today they're in a 6 foot deep. Sorry, they're in a grave 6 foot deep. No one cares about them. Once a year you'll remember them and maybe give some alms. That's it. Why do you want to be in the same situation? I'll say it one last time. I'm not suggesting that you must all therefore give up your lay lives and come and become monks. That's not what I'm suggesting. For those of you who can, don't delay. But for those of you who cannot, become a monk at heart. Don't spend every bit of time you have doing these things. If you have half a day spare, don't go start up another business unless you need it to survive.